Tonight, the jury delivers a guilty verdict in the trial for the man accused of killing Misha Pavelick. A Saskatoon hardware store owner cleans up after a car crashes through the front of his store. And we hear from some homegrown rider talent making their first ever Grey Cup appearances.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Friday, November 14th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. A jury has found the man accused of killing Misha Pavelick guilty of second-degree murder. 19-year-old Pavelick was stabbed to death at a campground near Regina Beach in 2006. And for the first time since the trial began, we are hearing from Pavelick's family. Aliyah Marco Omene has our top story.
After deliberating for 20 hours, a jury in the trial for the man accused of killing Misha Pavelick found him guilty of second-degree murder Friday. The 36-year-old accused can't be named because he was a minor at the time of Pavelick's death. Pavelick's family, seated in the front row of a courtroom at Regina's Court of King's bench, hugged and sighed in relief as the verdict was read out. It comes after nearly 2 decades of uncertainty around what really happened to Pavelick the night he was killed at a campground near Regina Beach, and wondering who killed him.
I'm not saying my son was an angel over there in that whole exercise. I mean, they were all young kids. But I know for a fact that he didn't go out there to die that night. And we're just grateful. We're grateful at the outcome of this, and but so many other people were involved to help do the right thing.
In the month-long trial, 34 witnesses took the stand and a range of evidence was presented, including photos, DNA analysis, and an autopsy report. In her 200-page charge to the jury Wednesday, Justice Catherine Dawson cautioned evidence presented by 5 Crown witnesses. She said they may have tweaked their testimony to make themselves look better. Both the Crown and defense lawyers did not speak to the media Friday. The accused will remain in custody until he's sentenced next Thursday. The Crown said it will seek an adult sentence. Aliyah Marco Omene, CBC News, Regina.
The fate of accused killer Andrew Rosenfeld is now in the hands of a Saskatoon judge. Rosenfeld is charged with second-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend, Nykera Brown. The judge must decide if Rosenfeld killed Brown or if she shot herself. Rosenfeld first told police 2 men broke into the couple's apartment and shot Brown, but he eventually admitted he made up that story after police found his gun hidden under a bed. The judge has reserved her decision. A Saskatoon hardware store owner says he is still in shock after a car crashed straight through the front doors of his business early Friday. Ashwarya Duda shows us how the chaos unfolded.
Chaos.
This isn't what hardware store owner Wyatt Zacharias meant by express checkout.
Utter shock. I just did not expect that to be the phone call to get in the middle of the night.
But it's what happened after this, a Pontiac G6 crashing through the front of his store early Friday. Moments later, people can be seen exiting the car. Nobody was inside the store and the culprits fled the scene. Zacharias says he's just glad everyone is safe.
I don't know how they walked away from it, is what went through my mind. They came in really fast, so yeah, it was scary. The car was pulled up right up into here. You can see the wheel marks here.
He says the store's security system alerted him around 3 a.m. By the time he arrived, Saskatoon police and fire were already on scene.
Glass everywhere. And I had product strewn all over the street and all over the sidewalk, and it was everywhere in the store.
The vehicle was eventually towed out, and that's when the damage became more visible.
I don't know how I'm ever going to clean this up in time to open. Was the first thing I thought. How am I going to open this morning?
Luckily, Zacharias has easy access to tools to fix things up, but he says damage estimates are between $30,000 and $40,000. Zacharias says the culprits went back to the car to get their beer before running into the darkness. Police say the hit and run unit is investigating, and at the store is back to business as usual. Aishwarya Duda, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Well, we are less than 48 hours away from the biggest game of the CFL season. The Riders are hungry for the Grey Cup, and fans are continuing to arrive for Sunday's game. CBC's Dan Plaster is also in Winnipeg at Riderville once again. Dan, what's been happening there?
Ethan, it's a lot more busier here at Riderville. You can hear the music. The crowd's starting to get really going here for the 112th Grey Cup. It's at Princess Auto Stadium, of course, in Winnipeg, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Montreal Alouettes. It is the first time since 2013 the Saskatchewan Roughriders are playing in the big game, so that means there's a lot of first-timers. And as I show you in this report, it's even extra special for those first-time players from Saskatchewan.
Rider fans have an extra special space in their hearts for the homegrown Saskatchewan talent, and this roster has a lot of that. 5 players from Saskatchewan are on the team's active roster, and all of them are playing in their first Grey Cup. The oldest is Jurgen Hughes. The former St. Joseph's Guardian and Regina Ram is in his 10th season with the Rough Riders.
Finally got here. Been a long time coming. Been dreaming about this day, obviously, since I was a little kid. Started playing football. To play for your home province means a lot, obviously. And then to get to this game just means so much more.
Logan Ferland played his youth football in Melfort before joining the Regina Thunder. One of the games that shaped his football path was the last time the Rough Riders were in the Grey Cup in 2013.
That would have been my second year playing football. So it wasn't necessarily a goal at that time, but just obviously watching your province's team win, that was very exciting. It was a very emotional year.
The heart of the CFL is in Saskatchewan. It has some of the most passionate fans in the league. The players feel that emotion, and the Grey Cup is an event that brings all of Canada together.
We have a very passionate fan base, and clearly in Saskatchewan, that fan base is very passionate. I think throughout all of Canada, this game I think represents a lot. Having all of Canada come together and watch this. I mean, like I said before, we didn't watch many games. We always watched the Grey Cup, and I think that's very similar with other Canadian families.
Emotion is one of the words being brought up the most during Grey Cup week. How to control it, how to embrace it, and even how to avoid it. But being a veteran player, Hughes is loving every second of this week and this season.
It's a ton of fun. Everyone, loves each other and loves spending time at the facility and with each other on and off the field. So it's pretty special.
So other than Houston Ferland, the other Saskatchewan-bred players on the Saskatchewan Roughriders include Tavon Campbell, kind of more of an honorary Saskatchewan player because he went to play for the Regina Rams. Nick Weeb, you also have Noah Zur, Mitch Bickton as well, and Jackson Ford too. So a lot of Saskatchewan flavor on this Rough Rider club. And Ethan, we got a lot more coming here from a very loud Riderville as we're going to have the voice of the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, Dave Thomas, coming up in just a bit. I wish you were here having fun. I'm kind of starting to dance. We're getting there.
Maybe don't do any more of that on camera, but listen, save some of the fun for me when we come back.
Thanks,
Dan Plaster in Winnipeg at Riderville, thanks so much. Well, even if the Riders don't win the Grey Cup, Logan Ferland will at least have some hardware to bring back to Saskatchewan. Ferland was the recipient of the Jake Goder Veterans Award at Thursday night's CFL Awards in Winnipeg. And he wasn't the only rider walking away with some hardware. Fellow offensive lineman Jamarcus Hardrick is the CFL's most outstanding O-lineman. Hardrick came back from a season-ending quad injury in Week 6 of last season, and he thanked those who helped him get healthy and win his award.
I give a lot of credit to my wife, training staff, coaches, teammates, most outstanding support I had. It was everyone. It wasn't me, but it was hard, a lot mental, a little older, but we're here now.
Hardrick has won 2 Grey Cups with the Bombers and is a 3-time All-CFL honoree. And CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston delivered his annual address, enthusiastic about attendance and marketing strategies. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding announced rule changes, but even before he was asked any questions about the matter, he addressed accusations that Canadian football is being Americanized.
When we announced those rule changes, I did not do enough to emphasize something very important: our unwavering commitment to the Canadian game. So let me be clear. We are 3 downs, 12 players, unlimited motion, 65 yards wide, and huge end zones.
Johnston denied suggestions the rule changes are being introduced because the league is expanding to the U.S. He said any new franchises will be located in Canada.
I think CFL brings people from all across the country.
Well, the Grey Cup made an appearance at a Grey Cup Week pancake breakfast in Winnipeg Friday. Okay, maybe it was just a costume, but still pretty convincing. Fans from all teams gathered to eat some breakfast, hear music, and take in the party atmosphere. And stay with us. We'll have more of that party atmosphere from Winnipeg with Dan Plaster, plus a look at your forecast when we come back after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, as you saw earlier, the party is in full swing in Winnipeg for the Grey Cup. A lot of Rider fans will likely be making the trip this weekend to see the game, and a lot of them will be meeting at Riderville, where once again we find CBC's Dan Plaster. We didn't get enough of the party the first time. I see you've moved out of the dancing zone there, Dan.
Yeah, too many people were joining me in the dancing, so I thought I had to remove myself from the situation. But I have a great guest with me, the voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and Dave Thomas. I've wanted to do this for a long time. Dave, thanks for doing this.
Oh, perfect. No problem. I thought you were meaning two-step. Now I was worried, but no, that's good.
I can two-step. Want to start?
No.
Okay. But what we can do is talk about the Roughriders' journey here to the 112th Grey Cup. Some highs, some lows, but they're finally here.
Yeah, fantastic start to the season. You can't dispute the way that the team came out of the gates, came out very, very strong. Ran into injury problems right around Labor Day, so they get the back-to-back wins over Winnipeg. And then really, I don't want to say that they knew that first place was theirs, but it was theirs to lose. So they clinched it, and then they used what they had the rest of the way to fine-tune things, see what they had as far as depth on the roster. And now they're in this spot as clinching the West Final, win it at home, and get to the Grey Cup where you want to be.
Just tell me about your journey here. What was it like calling that West Final?
West Final was incredible because I'm not going to kid you, when Corey Mace went ahead and decided to kick the field goal and the fans started booing, I'm like, wow, you really went from hero to zero real quick, coach. But you know what? It turned out to be the right decision. And on that final drive, there were so many numbers that stood out to me. Again, 1 minute and 3 seconds on the clock when they had it. They started on George Reed's number, their own 34-yard line. The first pass, a 23-yard pass to Samuel Emelis, Ronnie Lancaster's number. And then they throw it to Dante Myers in the 3-yard line to go ahead and put themselves on a victory to win their third come-from-behind game of the season after halftime. And then the last play to Tommy Neal. I don't know that anybody was totally certain that we caught it, but we certainly sold it on the radio.
Quickly, your thoughts on the game and some of the things the Rough Riders have to do to be successful here to win the 112th Grey Cup.
Got to win the ball, run the ball, be effective with that with AJ Ouellette. Defensively, they've got to keep Alexander Davis running. I think it's going to be a very big key if they can get him mobile and outside of the pocket, push his hamstring, see how healthy he is going to be. And the Riders got to get a start. They don't start well for whatever reason. So if offensively they can get some traction early, they'll be fine.
And when they can hear you, where and when can they hear you on Sunday? Because you need to hear this beautiful voice on the radio for the game.
We'll be across the Rider Broadcast Network starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon as our pregame show, and then we'll take you right through to the call-in afterwards.
And how excited are you to just be a part of this?
This is incredible. A dream come true for a Saskatchewan guy that gets an opportunity to see the Saskatchewan guys on the field. It'll be awesome.
Dave, thank you so much for this.
Thank you. And a two-step later, maybe.
I love it. I'm here for it. The voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Ethan. This is Dave Thomas. He's excited for the game, and I think we're all excited for the 112th Grey Cup here in Winnipeg.
We sure are. Okay, I'll let you and Dave get back to your two-stepping there in Riderville. Thank you, Dan. That is CBC's Dan Plaster at Riderville in Winnipeg. Well, of course, there's only one thing left to talk about when it comes to the game. That is the weather for the Grey Cup game. And thank goodness we have weather specialist Mickey Wolf to break it down for us. How's it looking, Mickey?
Well, Ethan, we're looking at a nice sunny day, I think, for Sunday for that Grey Cup game in Winnipeg. Let's take a look at what's happening for the game time forecast. We've got highs of about 2 degrees. On Sunday, we're going to see -1 with wind chill, but overall, it's going to be a gorgeous day. gorgeous day for the Riders to hopefully take home that Grey Cup. And we're seeing a little bit of rain over Winnipeg right now, but that's going to make its way out by Sunday. We are seeing a little bit of mixed rain and snow hanging out over the south right now. The north has had a break from some snow today, but we're looking at a bit of strong winds gusting right now in the Churchill region, especially up to 70 kilometers an hour. A little bit of gusting up to 56 kilometers an hour in Swift Current as well. Looking ahead to some of that snow tonight, we're going to see a little bit more just passing through the north and in that southwest corner of the province. As we get into Saturday, it's going to be much clearer skies, as well as Sunday for that game watching time. Then we get into Monday, we're going to start seeing a little bit of snow again in the far north. Those numbers are going to look pretty reasonable at the start of the weekend, just 1 centimeter. And then as we get into Monday, we might see up to 16 centimeters in Uranium City. As far as the south, we'll see a little bit of snow overnight tonight, but nothing too dramatic for that southwest corner. Looking ahead for our week, in Regina, we're going to see some beautiful sunny skies tomorrow, still a little bit warmer than what we normally see this time of year. In Regina, -1. So right now we're sitting at 4 degrees. As we get into the later week, we're going to start sitting near that freezing temperature, so kind of returning to that late fall normal average temperature. Potentially a little bit of snow on Tuesday for folks in Regina as well. And for Saskatoon, again, we're seeing a beautiful sunny weekend, a little bit of clouds on Sunday, but that won't disrupt the game too much, at least over here. And then Monday, we might see a little bit of snow. By the end of the week, we're going to start to see those temperatures dropping near freezing. So Ethan, it's going to be sunny in Winnipeg and sunny in Saskatoon and Regina for folks to enjoy that Riders game.
Okay, so we won't be freezing to the seats if we have people who are traveling from Saskatchewan to Winnipeg for the game then.
Exactly. People traveling to the game will have nice sunny weather.
All right, well, maybe take the hand warmers just in case. You never know.
Just in
Thank you,
case.
Mickey.
Thanks, Ethan.
Well, a Saskatchewan content creator says she is frustrated after Facebook mistakenly took down her page with 22,000 followers. Ashlyn George says Facebook parent company Meta suspended her account because it violated its community standards on impersonation.
For me, I feel like summer doesn't start until I've checked into my very first glamping destination of the season. My social media is part of my business. I earn an income from it in multiple different ways. And now I have a concern about my current clients and future clients, how I'm going to navigate this as part of my platform is now offline and I don't have any answers of what I can share with them. So it's very challenging and frustrating. I feel a little bit helpless. I mean, there's an option to appeal, but sometimes the appeal button is there, sometimes it's not. They tell me I just need to wait for it. And I'm somebody who likes to take action on things. So having to sit and wait is really difficult for me. And you don't always know, am I talking to a person? Is this going to get resolved? And even from the human component, once they republish my page, it gets taken down pretty quickly. So how can we battle that? What can we do? I'm going to build out my email list. Of course, I have my website, but I don't own my social media accounts and they can disappear overnight. And that's a huge cornerstone for a lot of people's businesses. So I'm thankful I've just diversified a little bit in terms of what I do and how I earn an income. But it's going to be a lot of work and I won't be able to recover back to where I was. It would take years for that.
Well, take a look at this. An ancestor of the modern alligator and crocodile has been discovered. An ancestor from 240 million years ago. That is a little wild crocodile. Vertebrae, the lower jaw and the pelvis were unearthed this spring. Those bones yielded this image. The reptile roamed what is now southern Brazil during the Triassic period. That's just before the dinosaurs became dominant. The teeth indicate it was a predator. Now, scientists are especially interested in similarities with specimens in Tanzania, and they say it is more evidence indicating the continents were actually linked during the Triassic period, sharing plants and wildlife. Stay with us. We have more news for you, as well as a final look at our weekend forecast after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The opposition NDP wants the government to save a Regina medical clinic from shutting down. The Gardens Community Health Centre is slated to close its doors at the end of November. Its 2 doctors are retiring and the clinic couldn't find replacements. The NDP says the province invested millions of dollars into the clinic and shouldn't let it fail.
The remuneration model is not working. It's obviously not working. People are leaving the province. They haven't been able to recruit the doctors that would work there. They would come for a time and then they would leave.
Conway says the province should operate the medical centre as a community clinic and pay its doctors a salary. She says a fee for service isn't attractive to physicians working there. When the clinic opened in 2018, it had doctors, therapists, pharmacists, and nutritionists on staff. The NDP says about 5,000 patients will lose their family doctor if the clinic closes. The government says the clinic is private and the province won't intervene to keep it open. The clinic denied a request to comment. And Mickey Wolf is back now for one last look at our Grey Cup weekend forecast.
Well, Ethan, we're looking at a nice, calm and sunny weekend for the most part, especially for the south and central regions. But let's take a look at the forecast for tonight. We're going to be seeing a little bit of scattered flurries, potentially some showers, especially in that southwest corner of the province tonight. Those lows are just going to be hanging out that -6 to -7 low for the most part across the south and central. Up in the north, things are looking a little bit chillier. We do have some flurries scattered across the Churchill region and the far north as well. As we get into tomorrow, those skies are going to open up a little bit by the afternoon. We're going to start to see some sun coming into the far north, especially in that western corner where we've seen a lot of snow over the past few days. Looking to the south and central regions, we are going to start to see some sunny skies tomorrow. That precipitation is making its way out of the province and we will have some beautiful weather. And Ethan, the beautiful weather is going to continue into Sunday for the riders at the Grey Cup. I'm really excited for folks who get to watch it in person.
Same here. I got my snacks ready to go. I don't know about you.
Oh, definitely snacks.
Okay, thanks, Mickey.
Thank you, Ethan.
And that is our news for this Friday. For more news anytime, you can always head to our website or subscribe to our CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel or download the CBC News app on your smartphone or tablet. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend and go Riders.